welcome to Kids Club at Home. I'm just going to scroll down and double check that I've got some sound coming out. Brilliant. It's all looking hopeful. How are you all doing this week? Has it been a good week? It has definitely been a hot week, and I expect that some of you will have had your paddling pools out. Can you remember what I talked about last week? It was about an animal. That's it. It was the lost sheep last week, and I asked you if you were going to do one of the activities like making a pen for the sheep or somewhere nice for your sheep to live, if you could send me a photo, and some of you did. So we're going to start off by having a quick look at those photos. So it's the first one. We've got some sheep having a nice munch on the grass. We've got a Duplo pen for our sheep. Excellent. Not sure how secure it is, but it looks all right. And here we've got a lovely sheep home, and they even have some water. That's brilliant. So well done, and thanks for sending those in. Now, today's story is another story that Jesus told, and I'm going to give you a clue as to what that story is about. Just like last week, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go and find something that you could build with or that you could pretend to build with. So, I've got the counter, 30 seconds, off you go! I wonder what everyone's going to bring back. I wonder if we're going to have some toy drills. In my house, I found one of these. Oh, last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. So, in my house, I found some pliers. I found a builder's hat. Doesn't really fit on once I'm wearing a mic as well. And I also found a rather snazzy looking construction jacket. Cool. So now we are all ready. I'm going to play our video, because you're right, we're talking about builders, and this week it's going to be a story about 2 builders who took a different approach. To that video, wasn't it? So that story is one that Jesus told in our Bible. And it's really lovely to see when people make a video of it, because they get to read the ideas from their Bible and bring them to life. But I think it's always good to have a little look back and see what the Bible says. So, my Bible today is a Common English Bible, and I am in the Gospel of Luke and chapter 6 right at the end. And I'm going to read some of the words that Jesus says. So he says, he's telling people what it's like when someone comes to him, hears his words and puts them into practice. He said it's like a person building a house by digging deep and laying the foundation on a bedrock. When the flood came, the rising water smashed against the house, but the water couldn't shake the house because it was well built. But those who don't put into practice what they hear are like a person who built a house without a foundation. The flood water smashed against it, and it collapsed instantly. It was completely destroyed. So now I have got 3 questions for you. Let's find my questions. Here we are. So, number 1 question. Which house fell down? Was it the house built on rock, or was it the house built on sand? Excellent. It was the house built on sand that fell down. My second question is maybe a tricky question. There was a key difference between the version I told you in the Bible and the video. What was the difference in the story? It was to do with the man who built his house on the rock. Can you think what was the difference in the way the story was told? It doesn't affect the overall image, the overall story and the message from the story, but it's quite interesting how people choose to portray the stories. Have a really good think about this one. Well, interestingly, in the Bible I read, it talked about the wise man digging deep down to the foundations, yet in this video story, the wise man went on top of a rock. So it's still going for a rock, and they both built it in good, secure places, but the Bible talks about digging down. And you know, that's interesting, because if we think about pictures about the places that Jesus would have known, it makes a little bit more sense. So I am going to show you a couple of pictures. First of all, we have a picture of the Lake of Galilee, and this is one of the places where Jesus would have been when he was telling these stories. Then I have a picture of some of what the land was like in this area, and you can see we've got a mix of rock and loose soil and sand. Now the bit on the far left, so the bit away from where I am, that's a little bit darker colour, we think that's actually the bedrock. And the stones at the back, the stone walls that we can still see, their foundations would have gone all the way down to the bedrock, which is why they're still standing. And if anything had just been built on here, this sandy stuff, this would have just got washed away when it rained because the foundations weren't so strong. So and I've got one more picture to show. This is a picture of a house that you can still go and see today. And this house would have been around in the time of Jesus. So that's 2,000 years ago. That's a long time. Do you think your house will still be standing in another 2,000 years? Interesting. So, what do we think this story means for us today? What is the foundation, and how does that relate to us? Any ideas? When Jesus says listening to him and doing what he says to do is like the man who built his house on firm foundations. I think that's really interesting. In our video, the 2 men both saw some instructions. So both men maybe had symbolically are listening to Jesus, but only one man listens and then puts into action what Jesus says. So over the next few weeks we might do a few more stories of Jesus, and they might tell us to do things like be kind to our brothers and sisters, listen to our mum and dads, very important that one, and help people who don't have much food. And so it's really important that not only do we listen to these stories, but we do something about them as well. And I think that's probably my wow moment for today. Right, it's time for our awkward selfie, and given that the hat doesn't fit on my head, it's probably going to be really awkward today. So find your building stuff. I've got my selfie. Right, I'm going to put on my jacket. Going to get my hat at the ready. Going to get into the frame, and I've got this as well. So, have you got your parents with your phone? And are we ready for an awkward selfie? Week 2 of Kids Club at Home. 3, 2, 1, cheese! Brilliant. Now, to finish off, we're going to have a song, and this week it's quite a special song. It's been sung and signed, not the webcam, been signed in MAKATON as well. We heard it as part of our service for the adults when lots of different adults from churches around England sung it, and it's also been produced by children. So, as you watch it, you could also copy some of the signs. I'm going to teach you one before we play it, and then you could join in. So the one sign I'm going to teach you is Lord. So can you copy me? Lord. Fantastic. And in the song it says, Lord, bless you. So we're going up, which is Lord, bless you with hands out. Well, bless, and then you bringing your hands forward into fists. So let's try that one more time. Okay, so it's Lord bless you. Brilliant. And as you watch it, you can join in with any of the signs that you want to. Thank you ever so much for joining me this week. One last thing before I go. This story is The Wise Man and its house and its sand. So if you get a chance, try having 2 little houses, or even just men, put one on top of a pile of sand, or it could be flour, it could be soil from your garden, and then put another one on top of a pile of bricks or rocks, pour some water over them and see what happens. Take a photo, send it to the email address, and if you do that, I'll show them next week. Have a great week, everyone, and enjoy the song.
Hiya, my name's Becky George. Welcome to our MAKATON UK Blessing.
The Lord bless you and keep you, make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn His face toward you and give you peace.
The Lord bless you and keep you, make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn His face toward you and give you peace.
you.